Well, time for another release wave of the Hammond collection. We've got 5 figures more or less in this wave: Spino, Stego, Troodon, Stiggy, and the Tiger Stripe Velociraptor. Stego's not out yet. I haven't been able to get a Spino, but I'm optimistic. I just need Target to get off their asses and let me into the back room, basically. Or get things out of the back room. We'll go through the Tiger Raptor today first. This was, the Tiger Raptor is one of my favorite designs in the franchise. But also, the figures never live up to the design. They always look wrong to me. And I already know this one's also going to look wrong to me. I also know there's some quality control issues with this figure. So, one other thing interesting here is this rebranding. True FX. What does that mean? Nobody knows. The back here actually says it's premium details or whatever. Premium details for enhanced realism, which I feel like is ironic given that this figure does not actually seem to be making any leaps ahead of the other Raptors. It doesn't seem to be any more accurate. It doesn't seem to be like a refined sculpt that much. Like, some parts are probably different. I'm not gonna like dig out my other Raptors and compare like the sculpt of the hands or something, but like, yeah. When we first saw the True FX stuff, like, I think the Stiggy was the first one we saw that was branded with that. And like the Stiggy I can believe, right? This thing looks like it's probably pretty accurate to the screen animal. Maybe I can believe that it's made specifically using like the CG model or something, right? For accuracy. But I don't know how in the world that applies to the Tiger Raptor, and I don't know how in the world it applies to an animal that's never been in the franchise. How can you brand a Troodon in the film franchise? Sorry, obviously it's in Jurassic Park the game, but how can you brand an animal that we've never seen in live action True FX? I don't understand. Um, yeah, we've got you know, little Lost World blurb there, even though it's got a Jurassic World logo on the bottom, which feels weird to me. Like, there's no Jurassic World logo on the front at all. There's the labeling here, but then didn't they used to put the specific movie logo? I think they used to, right? It looks like they don't do that anymore. It looks like they're all just branded Jurassic World. Whatever. Not important. Doesn't matter. All right. Well, let's take a look at this thing. So, your standard Raptor packaging, small figure, tail, not directly attached. Let me extract him from his tomb, and we'll look at him a little closer. Here's what we got. You know, standard tail with a wire in it for a little bit of flexibility. You gotta snap it in yourself. Got another one of these. I don't know when they switched to doing this, the little like ball joint with little knob at the end, but it's another one of those. Um, Actually, another comment here. I don't know if this will come in on the video. Maybe if I can get it to focus. Maybe. Very maybe. Usually it will do it eventually. But the texture on this tail is kind of weird. It's not gonna want to do it. Well, maybe you can kind of see something there, but there's like a very like scaly texture to it, which feels like really exaggerated compared to the actual body of the figure. Like, the tail has a very fine scaled texture, the body doesn't. That's my point I'm making. Uh, okay, let me put this tail on actually, and then we'll look at it again because I think I see another issue right away. Oh yeah, no, we got a problem here. Not only is the texture different, the color is different. The tail is more orange than the body. Like, it's an entirely different shade of orange. Actually, I guess it's not fair to say it's more orange. It's like a more saturated orange. Like, the body's a little bit more subdued. I mean, they're both very orange, but oh, there you go. Yeah, you could see the color difference, and then you could see the scale patterning on the top of the tail there that does not match the body like at all. Very weird. That is probably one of the most jarring like body to tail transitions I've seen in one of these. Um, that's rough. Hmm. Well, on to other details. We got, of course, the more reasonably in scale feet that they do on the Raptors these days. The arms are what you'd expect. They've got the really foreshortened first digit that they do all the time that really isn't supported by the films. Um, yeah, we got the neck here. Again, the same way they've kind of been doing it, which gives it a very arm-like vibe. Um, okay, so let's comment on some joints here. First things first. This arm, this shoulder here, very stiff. Doesn't want to go anywhere. This one, very loose. It just easily flops around. Quality control shit, right? The neck, does this even move? This is completely there's like I got like no flexibility in the neck here at either joint. The head can turn on this one, but whatever structure there's supposed to be here, not really doing its job turning wise, or like moving wise. Like it's kind of just frozen in this position. The Atrociraptor, which I do have behind me, yeah, really has the same like neck structure. But this guy, I think, no, this one's neck was pretty stiff too, actually. Definitely the Atrociraptor looks better with a thicker head, supports the neck a little bit better visually. I think the thing that's always bothered me with the Velociraptors is you get like this really thick back part of the neck here behind the head, and then the noticeable like transition to the main neck piece where it's a lot thinner. So you end up with this awkward seam or ridge, I guess is a better way to place it. This awkward ridge around the neck, like right there, where the two pieces connect. It does not look very good, and the Atrociraptor hides that a lot more. We've got the glass eye. Looks like the slit pupil is painted on the outside, which is different than I think than the other glass eyes. Right? Weren't the other glass eyes usually the pupil is on the inside the glass, which is weird looking? Here it's on the outside, which probably works better. I don't know. I'm really kind of lukewarm on the glass eyes in general, especially on the smaller figures. This one's not bad. I mean, at least it's very clearly yellow. So the jaw's weird. The jaw is the big quality control issue I know is on this figure, right? And the issue is you close the jaw and it doesn't really close well, and you get this bottom lip that like sticks out quite a lot further sometimes than the top jaw or lip, giving it this like really bad underbite. This has been a pretty consistent issue I've seen online with this figure. This one's not as bad as some of these, but I noticed another thing here, right? Look at the gap between the back of the jaw and the skull. I think if I can get this to focus, you can see that. There's like a gap, right? And I can actually push the jaw and force it kind of closed more and back more. And it actually closes up pretty decent. Oops, I've completely lost it. Yeah, it closes up pretty decent, right? Look at that. That's not bad. But the problem is, like, something about the jaw connection is a bit shit. So you gotta, like, kind of force it fully closed and backwards. You gotta, like, actually push it back towards the neck, like that, a little bit. And then you get, like, a decent close that does not look half bad for a head sculpt, actually. It looks better than I was thinking from what I've seen from other examples of the figure online and other reviews. Um, and it's mostly just down, I think, to that jaw joint being a little weird. I have seen people say that you can like run it under hot water and force it back as well to get it to sit better, but like it seems to me that you can literally just push it and like it finds the place it's supposed to be. Yeah, I think this one looks a lot better mouth closed. Like if you can get that to close like that, then that's I think the way to display this one specifically. Um, and really, I don't think the Raptors ever looked particularly good with the jaws open, right? I think that was always kind of a lackluster thing with them. So yeah, not too much else to say about the sculpt. Pretty much standard Raptor shit. It's you know what you get kind of when you're buying one of these. Unfortunately, it's the weak point of the line, the Raptors. Even like the main series toys, right? Like the more basic figures tend to have pretty lackluster Raptors. I feel like people generally find themselves underwhelmed by the Velociraptors. Mattel does. That's really too bad. It's like one of the main iconic dinosaurs from the franchise, but Mattel just can't seem to do a particularly great job. Let's look at some comparison images. Let's start with this one. This is a very nice behind the scene image. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Behind the scene image of the Tiger Stripe Raptor, the male. You can, of course, see the nice golden yellow, piss yellow eye, slit pupil. You can see the striping. You can see the orange on the top fading down to this creamy white on the bottom. I mean, like, the head has, like, the white under jaw, right? They do a pretty decent job of getting the transition right, going from, like, orange to white, where it kind of starts to transition around the upper lip. Like, it's not bad. The orange is a little too orange. I feel like this is consistently an issue with the Tiger Stripe Raptor and, like, all toy lines and stuff, is it this, they make it so orange. And it looks a little off in comparison. Maybe the orange works a little better for a toy, right? Exaggerate the colors to make it pop more. I like if the rest of the figure was good, I could live with it being more orange than the film, because part of the films comes down to color grading, and like that stuff is a little flexible. Um, so yeah. If we look at another behind the scenes shot, we get a much better body shot here. This is where you can really see the accuracy of the figure fall off pretty badly. This shot gives a really good example of how the stripes look on the back and how they look going down the tail. And the thing with the Tiger Stripe Raptor is he actually doesn't have that many stripes, right? You could count those stripes. He's got what, 6 across the body and like 12 down the tail. This thing has a billion stripes. This is very inaccurate. And the thing is, I feel like it'd be easier to paint bigger stripes, bigger singular stripes, like you could see on the example image here, than it would be to paint all these little ones. Like, I don't understand why they went so hard on the striping when it does not actually represent the animal as it appears in the film. You can also kind of see the thigh here of the Tiger Stripe Raptor, and it looks to me like the thigh is not really patterned. And here, stripes all the way down the leg. So, there are stripes on the arm. The figure has those, sure. But yeah, the striping, like, I think this is the same complaint I had for the Amber Collection Tiger Stripe. It bears no resemblance to the striping on the real animal in the films. Like, it's just completely different. For no discernible reason. We also get another shot here of the animal in the movie. Well, this is a behind the scene, like film the animal in the filming of the movie, right? The first two were like production photos where the animatronics or whatever are set up specifically to stage photos that aren't from the film. This is like a behind the scenes photo of them actually filming the film. And if we move this so you can actually see the raptor, it gives us another really good side profile. And you can see that there are stripes on the leg, but they're very much on the front of the leg, right? They're not flat on the exact side. They should be, they should be terminating halfway across the thigh, really. And they don't do that. So yeah, like we saw in the other image, right? It looks like from that other image, it looked like there was no stripes on the thigh. That's not true, actually. There are stripes on the thigh, but the stripes are, again, exaggerated on the figure for some indiscernible reason. Um, Very strange. Also, the neck striping going like all the way down into the cream is completely wrong. You could see that there. The stripes literally touch, especially on this side, actually. The stripes, oh my god, this is so hard to like position from this alternate angle. Yeah, the striping on the neck on this side, oh my god, I can't do this. Um, Actually goes into the cream slightly, the undercolor. And they don't on the other side, so like that looks to me like the stripes are slightly misaligned. Yeah, so the side to side neck coloring is definitely like messed up, which is weird. Hmm. Quality control again. Yeah, like if you look at it from the perspective from the front, the stripes are kind of the correct right to left, but the cream coloring on the neck is not, right? So it's skewed to one side. This is an issue on the Aloe. I'm not going to grab him, but like the Aloe had a lot of quality control issues with the paint not being mirrored right to left, with it extending much further down the body on one side versus the other. Mine was all right. The only problem mine has is that the paint doesn't go down to the shoulder. So he's got a blue upper arm and then cream colored shoulder and then blue above that, which looks very wrong and toy like. Um, so mine was sort of short on paint on both sides for my Aloe. This guy's not really short on paint. It's just like skewed off to the side for some reason. Wait, is it? I mean, I guess it's hard to tell, right? What the intent is versus what it actually is. Because it actually looks like the side of the head, too, has an issue, right? The cream here comes like back kind of straight from the jaw. And then on this side, it tapers down very quickly. So it ends up having more lightly colored skin on one side of the head versus the other. Curious that. I want to look at the head sculpt a little bit more again. So the Raptor, I don't know if it's just me too, but the head sculpt feels a little JP3-ish with the double ridge, which isn't like not present in the Tiger Stripe Raptors, but I feel like it's a little more exaggerated here. I mean, obviously you got like the ridge above the eye, and then there's a little bit of a nose ridge, but it feels a little too exaggerated. That's a real nitpick. Just, we're not going to give it or take away points for that, but the heads for the JP1, JP2 Raptors feel much more triangular, and the JP3 ones feel a little more bumpy, and the figure feels a little more bumpy. Very nitpicky. Okay, let's rank this thing. This sucks. Quality control issues. Some weird choices. Combine this with the disappointment, right? A lot of issues. It does have the smaller feet. So I think on the merits of like, oh man, I don't know. The smaller feet are nice, but the color palette is weird. The orange being different between the tail and the body. The jaw issues. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this. Honestly, I think I prefer... This has to be D tier, right? This has to be. I think so. Immensely disappointing for me. Is it better than the other Tiger Raptor? Probably in the respective toy lines. I think it goes here. Maybe. Yeah, you know what? It can be downranked for disappointment. I think the fact that it's like the 6th Raptor figure we've got or whatever. Is that true? JP1, 2 JP3s, Delta Blue. Yeah, it's the 6th. I think we can downrank it for being the 6th variation on this species, for it being a disappointing variation on this species, especially given how much better Blue and Delta were. The fact that we finally get another classic era raptor and it's got other issues, right? Like the JP1 and JP3 raptors had the big clown feet, so those sucked. And now we finally get one with the new feet, but it's got a bunch of other issues, meaning we don't get, we don't get a consistently enjoyable classic era raptor. Like every classic era raptor in the Hammond collection line has pretty egregious flaws, and that sucks. A lot. Yeah, I prefer, I'm happier with the JP3 male and the JP1 raptor over this. Honestly, I don't think the female's particularly good from JP3, but I'm more disappointed by the mediocre Tiger Raptor than I am by the JP3 female. Because this is one of my boys, and he sucks, and that bugs me. But I definitely like the smaller figure compared to the rest of the toy line more than I did the larger Hammond collection one. Is that true? I mean, the larger Hammond collection one is just a repaint. This one isn't, but this one's got more color issues. The jaw issue, no, this is worse. This is worse. This is the worst Hammond collection figure, actually. I still like it more than this weird puke green baby T-Rex. And the compies are dog shit. Um, yeah. No, I'm gonna lock it in there. Let me. Oh, we can't even see the full tier list here. Shrink this shit down. Oh, I never even shrink down the camera before when I resized it. Whoopsies. Well, whatever. Hopefully you could see some of the stuff I was commenting on with the comparison images. I did my job poorly, and then I just minimized the thing, and I didn't mean to. Um, but yeah, we had that pretty well in frame. Yeah, that was pretty visible, I think. I think we did fine. Probably did fine. Whatever. It doesn't matter. There's the visual examples again, so you can pause the video if there was something you couldn't see before. You can look at it there and see what I was talking about. But yeah, that's what the full tier list is currently looking like. So I think the Tiger Raptor is going to be the black sheep of this line here. I think the other four are all pretty good, pretty interesting in their own rights. We'll obviously cover those in their own videos as we get them. But the tiger stripe raptor, out of the figures I currently have, which is just the three small ones, as animals in the franchise, the tiger stripe raptor was the one that interested me the most. I knew it was going to be one I had a lot to say about in terms of quality issues, so I figured we get this one out of the way first. The one I'm actually looking forward the most from the line is the Stego, but that apparently doesn't come out till later in the month, so that'll be the 5th video in like a few weeks or even maybe a month from now, depending on how long it takes to find one and other circumstances. But yeah, we can leave this video off here then. Until next time.